why don't you tell me a little bit about the markets in Italy? You mentioned that before.
The markets were wonderful. And I will say, my Italian was not very good. I spoke the Roman dialect, which there are so many different dialects in Italy. If you go to Sicily, it's one. If you go to Florence, it's another. And so your dialects, and my Italian was not very good. Fortunately, our children were very good. But when you went to the market, it was all fresh fruits and vegetables. They would have the lambs or the sides of beef, or the meat would just be hanging on hooks in the market, and you'd order what you wanted. We did have a neighborhood store where you could buy milk. Milk was all in plastic bags, and you had a plastic pitcher that you put the bag in. And the produce and the fruits and vegetables were all according to the season. But there were numerous restaurants. The best way to enjoy Italy as far as eating in restaurants is to go to the local trattorias and not to the touristy places. We had wonderful friends that had restaurants down there, and we had one that we used to go to. If they were full and you waited in line outside the restaurant to get in for a table, they would bring you out hors d'oeuvres and drinks while you waited. This was outside. Most everybody stayed and had their dinner there, but there were a few who would have the hors d'oeuvres and the drink and leave.
Well, other than the having difficulty with the language, did you find it difficult to adapt to the Italian culture, or did you feel kind of like it kind of came easily?
They were so friendly, it was very easy.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to learn their language, they are so wonderful. They don't expect you to speak perfect Italian or their dialect. They appreciate the fact that you tried to learn their language. Now, both of our daughters are very good. One is completely bilingual, and the other one is excellent. But they had to study the language in order to go to school there.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I ran into a snag, I had them to fall back on.
But did your children enjoy growing up in Italy, or spending a good chunk of their childhood there?
Yes, they did not want to come back with us. They wanted to stay and finish school there. Unfortunately, we weren't willing to give up our daughters at that age.
I'm sure.
No, they would have loved to have stayed.
Mm-hmm.
The classrooms, the classes were very small. Maybe 6 to 12 children in a classroom.
Wow.
Teachers could teach only their own native language. One of the English classes that was very popular was by Mr. Brophy, and he taught Old Testament English. He felt that it was the most perfect English there was. And he taught Old Testament English. He was a delightful Irishman. And like I say, being of Irish descent, of course, I thought the world of him. And Mrs. Roberts, that taught the English, was truly remarkable. How she made everybody love Shakespeare, I'd never figured out. But the school was wonderful. The children still stay in touch. Now, we were there from 70 to 75, so it's been a long time. And they still stay in touch with their classmates from Italy. And the pupils were from all over the world, not just America or Italy, but from all over the world. There was a real variety of students.